Welcome to Thinker Into. Today what I want to talk about is the setup that I have managed to arrive for my camera. It's a GH5 Panasonic, and the setup was built after many iterations of trial and error of trying to have a very solid and good and easy to use setup for anamorphic lenses, as well as other types of lenses that could be adapted to the Micro Four Thirds system. So I'll try to be as quick as possible for sake of time, but try to go a bit into a discussion of each of the bits and pieces that I managed to put in this system in order to have it fully functional at the point that it is right now. Many of the pieces here, they were sourced from AliExpress. So they are, I'll put the link in the description for the pieces so that you can find them out easily. Some of those pieces, particularly here, this back part, is a power distribution system that I have developed. I have a video on how I use this power distribution system. Possibly it would be a good time for remaking that video, because I have improved it a bit since then, but the essence is the same. But anyway, let's go piece by piece. The cage is a Tilta cage, and I think this is a very nice cage, not very cumbersome, and with a lot of mounting points, and has a very good solid upper mounting point as well. So this was the first piece of the kit, but as important as the cage, I suppose, is this bottom plate here that I use as a cum-weight plate. It is very compact but really useful, because I can put the rods on this bottom plate, as well as I can fix the power distribution plate. So the battery goes like this, and the system is powered. I have put this this adapter here, which is also from AliExpress, and I really don't know the name for this right now, but it's a Shileo. It's kind of a very neat adapter that can shift around, and you can use in a tripod to shift directions. But I didn't use here with this purpose. I just put it in here for having some additional height from the quick release plate that is there. And I use this a bit of a big plate, but you can screw it in here or put it in here in your quick release system. And the reason for this is, there are two reasons for this. First of all, I use this for the tripod system, to put in the tripod, but I also roll it like that to fix the battery in place, so the system is really sturdy and will not move in any way. From this power distribution, I have wired some connectors. The first wire, this one, connects the camera itself with energy. The other two wires, I route them through the pipe, and they go here at the front of the system. So those wires, they serve the purpose of feeding this motor, the motor, which is really, really very good for using with anamorphic lenses, just because you remove a lot of jittering, a lot of flexing in the system. So I think now we should move forward in the upper part of the build and talk about flexing and everything. So this is a typical anamorphic setup, one of those that I made, and there are some videos here talking about those. But this one has passed through many iterations of some improvements, trying to reduce at a maximum all kinds of flexing and jittering that the system can have after it's built. And this is a quite small one. Some of the other ones are a bit bigger, but anyway. But this is very crucial that you minimize all jittering as possible, because since you are stretching the horizontal, if the whole lens is like jitter like this a bit, there will be it will be perceivable in your shot that the system, that the lens is not that tight down. So in order to solve that, what I developed was this ring here, this black ring, and this was a made in the shop with the objective of fixing and giving rigidity to the system, to the anamorphic block and the lenses. So what I do, first of all, is put in some tape here in the mount that goes in the camera. These tapes are really very good to reducing jitter in the system, right? So that's number one. And number two is to put this ring with a screw hole inside. So in the camera side, I used this adapter here. Let me lose it in here so that you can see. It's quite convenient because you don't have to remove everything after it's assembled. It removes. You just screw this part and the whole thing goes away. So the idea here is that it has a kind of a pillar and has some movement, so it's quite neat. And you're gonna, after the lens is mounted to the system, you're gonna screw it like this there, and it'll go inside. See, you screw like that, and it'll go inside, and then you lock it in place, and you can put some tension here, and everything's going to be really, really rigid. So let's try it out and see if we can see it working, and see if it makes sense for you guys. So if there's no support or anything like that, the whole system is a bit loose, you see. And if you move like that, it's probably not perceivable, because there are some already, I made this one really tight, but sometimes, and it's perceivable, you can have some jitter. So there are two objectives with this system here. First, as I said, is to remove all jittering in the system. Second, is to relieve tension in the bayonet of your camera. You don't want to damage your camera, right? So when the system is like that, you're going to see the hole in here. The whole objective then will be for you to just put it like here, like this. It's quite easy. You don't have to tighten it down at this point. You just let it roll a bit. If there's any problem in there. And from here, we are going to screw it in here. So it's already in place, and it's very rigid, and will not lose. And when you are focusing and doing everything, the system will not have any, it will not jitter in your camera bayonet, and the image will be much more stable. Well, the second improvement, of course, was to remove your point of contact from the lens itself. When I'm using, just push in here, undo this, and put it in the place that you want, and it's good to go. So anyway, let's put it like that. This cable, I usually already leave it in place. It's just a matter of, because all energy is gonna come from the single wire. That goes in the motor here, and from the motor it has two inputs. So one is energy in, the other is energy out. So I just do some wiring management here, and I think it's gonna be good. I hope this is okay. And from this side of things, this motor has this kind of adapter that stays there as well. I just removed it for showing you guys, but it normally stays like in this. Anyway, you just tie it down in the position that you want. This is the motor, and it will just slide in here. It's not that super easy, but it's not that super complicated as well. I usually slide it to the bottom. I think it gives more rigidity to the system. And this is an important part. This motor goes in here. Initially, you should like leave it loose, and then after you power it down, you put it there. But this is an important part of the discussion, because this motor, although it's really nice and will help you a lot with your system, using this will be much more stable. But on the other hand, the motor will put a lot of pressure here in the cog, and it's not like a hand that you like have 2 points of contact at least with your fingers. The motor only has 1 point of contact. So if the system is not really rigid, instead of helping you, the motor will create like a stress in the system, and everything is gonna bend. It's not gonna be very nice. So in order to solve that, this ring and all this system it's very, very, very important. There's kind of a red dot in here. Yeah, so this motor is already powered. It's not turned on, but it's powered already, and the grip is already powered. This one is for another types of motor that I'm not using right now, so I just store it like this. So only one push here in this button, everything is now powered. I don't know if you can see if system is how it's powered, but probably you can see the lights here in the motor that are very, very bright. So in order to calibrate, it's quite easy. There's a form of manual calibration that I rather often I don't usually use that. Just put it like this and give it a good torque here, and you push this button for some seconds, and everything's gonna run to the calibration process. And the system will recognize the infinite focus and the near focus, and now it's done. It's just a matter of pushing this knob here, there, and the front and back, and there's no jitter. The system is really, really solid, put in place. And the thing that is doing most of the job is this pillar here, and the cog system, which is really tightened down, pushing into the direction, and it's also helping to support any tension here in the mount of the camera. See, it works very solid and very well. So yeah, for anamorphics, this was the objective of this video. I hope it was useful. and you have some, some ideas in order how to improve your anamorphic setup and make it more rigid, more sturdy, and less prone to jittering. Thank you very much.